My doctors know about it. It's fine. My name's Abby. I feel like I have to get this off my chest a little bit in case you're wondering about like the type of person I am. I took my pet fish to the emergency vet the other night. Listen, okay? He couldn't breathe! He couldn't breathe. Was I high? That part doesn't matter. All I know is that I got off work at like 2 a.m. and he's like swimming around in there and he did something with his gills I didn't trust. So instead of opening Google, I just called the emergency vet and they were like, yeah, that's an exotic animal. It's gonna be $200. And I was like, I will spare no expense for Gary. I love Gary with all my heart. I sobbed in the parking lot and I took a video of it. I went viral on TikTok, so that's awesome. Yeah. People started Venmoing me money for this. They were like, girl, we are so sorry. Like, why did you do this? And then like the best part about it was that people were tagging their friends. Like, oh my God, Brittany, this would be me. But like, it's not her though, but I did it. You can't relate to me this way. We're two different types of people. They're the types of people that are like, oh yeah, I would take my fish to the vet. And then I did it, you know? I feel like I got kind of gypped though, because he's fine now, obviously. When I showed up at the vet, right, there were vet technicians ready to greet me, and they were like, we want to see Gary. I'm in tears. They took him back there. They did one thing. They weighed him, all right? The scale couldn't even find Gary because he weighs less than a gram. I spent $200 on less than a gram. I'm from California. I got fucking gypped. I kind of feel like because of the pandemic right now, I'm in a long-distance relationship with my therapist. Because we'll schedule times to call every week, and we'll text each other when we can, but, it requires a lot of effort to make sure that, everybody's communicating properly. And it's actually proven to be a great thing. I've been off of all of my medication for 2 months. So this is really exciting, actually. It's a really big feat. Normally people applaud for that, but you guys are jerks. People applaud for that, so then I can say the fucking punchline. I realized that all I had to do was hang up the phone and block him anytime he tried to prescribe me medication. That's great. I like it better that way. So I'm dating a guy, and he's 8 years older than me. And originally I was worried that it was going to be like awkward. We wouldn't have anything to talk about. But it's turned out to be fine. It was actually way better than the 38-year-old guy I was dating. He and I had nothing in common. Like, he was like, his life and my dad's life were way too similar. My comfort, We were like sitting at dinner and he's talking about like, I don't know, like stocks or some shit. And I was just like, oh yeah. And like, my dad did that. And I was like, hey man, what year did you graduate high school? He was like, 89. I was like, my dad did too. I kind of realized that me and this dude weren't going to work out. So I broke up with him like a week later, but I brought him home first to meet my dad, obviously. And they're dating now. It's great. They're going hunting next week. I'm real happy for him. I'm real happy. My boyfriend, though, he was like this close to making it to the NFL. In his head. And now he just gets real mad when football's on TV. I love having an angry boyfriend though, because he's always mad but never at me. It's just my boyfriend though, he got involved in a pretty macho conversation the other night between him and some of his buddies, and they're talking about Tom Brady. They're saying the only reason that Tom Brady continues to play football year after year is because he is sick of looking at his wife, Giselle. Sorry. Tom Brady continues to play football for millions of dollars. And the sponsorship's out the wazoo because he is sick of looking at his supermodel wife, Giselle. I thought this was an interesting point to argue. I looked at him, I was like, hey man, you have Star Wars posters on your wall that you haven't gotten sick of. You're like 29 years old. You have a Chicago Bears bedspread. Maybe next time we pick a better team. I feel like we don't get to talk about Tom Brady. Let him kiss his kids. My boyfriend, though, he's a libertarian. And, that's my dad who applauded. My dad. Here's the thing about my dad, guys, is he thinks he's a libertarian, and he was like, oh, you're gonna get the Biden vaccine, and then the second my mother made him the appointment, he was like, thank you so much, baby. I feel so much safer now. It's like, you're not a real libertarian. But dating a libertarian, it's very interesting because I'm a person who suffers from an existential crisis every other day. And so, like, when I go to work and I come home and I'm like, oh my God, I only made like $30. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, we're gonna have to eat scraps from the trash can, and who's gonna pay our rent? And he's like, baby, don't worry. The value of the dollar is going down every day. We're taking the troops out of the Middle East. It's fine. Well, pretty soon, the AI is going to take over, and then aliens are going to... and then none of this is going to matter. I'm like, oh, thank you so much! I feel so much better. I'm going to go cry in the shower. I'm like, I still have to clock in at Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow, asshole. This isn't helping anything. It's just, at 10 a.m. he likes to discuss, like, Tower 7. Like, it's very important to him. No, very legitimately, one of the things that, like, you know, like, are you guys in a relationship? Are you guys dating? So, okay, so you know that there's deal breakers, right? You know, for me, I thought it was, you know, like roller coasters. He's afraid of heights, besides the point. But you know, like one day, like when we first started dating, he looked at me and he was like, hey, Abby, do you think 9/11 was a hoax? And I was like, well, kind of, you know. I'm with it. I believe the theories, you know. He was like, okay, good, this can continue. Awesome move. I love him very much. I have a very unique childhood trauma. I have attractive parents. And the way that you learn that you have attractive parents is from your second grade teacher. She calls your dad a DILF. And you don't know what that word means. Then you Google it and you're like, like this. I rent a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in the Heights. I pay $760 a month. Nice. And guess who my co-signer was? Mr. Dilf himself. The leasing agent's name is Cassandra. She loves him. You know, let me tell you, it's really weird because people think my dad and I are a couple. And that's a compliment to him, but it's really weird to me. Like, no, this is my father. I want to talk about something else. I'm really bad with measurements, and this sounds like a dick joke, and it's not. I want you to know. I know when that's too small. Okay. So anyways, I'm bad with measurements, and this matters, though, because my friend is pregnant. And she's having a baby, and she has one of these baby size tracking apps, and it makes no sense to me. It'll be like, baby Kennedy is now the size of a plum. And I'm like, okay, a plum. I can get down with a plum. I'm a 3-dimensional person. This is a uterus. I understand a plum inside of there, right? But like, the bigger the baby gets, like the weirder the comparisons get, and I don't like it at all. It'll be like, baby Kennedy is now the size of a Toshiba television. I told my friend, I sat her down and I was like, Jackie, dude, please call me when your baby's a human. I went to Best Buy this week. There are a lot of different types of TVs, okay? I don't quite get it. I don't understand it at all. I want to talk about one more thing. I work at Buffalo Wild Wings, like I said earlier. Yeah, fucking laugh at that. You're gonna come in, you're gonna pay for my fucking therapy? Yeah. Dude, this place sucks. Buffalo Wild Wings attracts the stupidest fucking customers, bro. I'm not even sorry at this point. There's a national wing shortage. What the fuck does that mean? That just means I'm not getting tipped. I sat down with my manager the other day because they wanted to get me in trouble for slander. Somebody had seen my stand-up. Thank God. I told him, I said, Chris, I'm going to start inviting Lindsay from HR because I am sick of this bullshit. I told him, I said, I feel like our customers come in here and they choose violence. And we don't choose violence enough for me. I want to be violent back. Do you know how many times a day people ask me how spicy the medium sauce is? Context clues, motherfucker! Please! Okay, listen though, at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best you could be is a woman serving in the bar area. And when I was working there at first, I wasn't moving up as quickly as I wanted to, and I realized I didn't send nudes to my manager. So I manned that hostess station for like 8 more months. My dad's super proud of me. Yeah. No slut here. Just tiny shirts. But like the best you could be was like serving in the bar area, especially if you're a girl. And these girls, they walk around and they're like, oh my god, look at me. I make like $3 more an hour. And I know what you did to get there. You know? I just always think like, dude, there's a difference between sleeping your way to the top and sleeping your way to the top of Buffalo Wild Wings.